All right. So, just wanted to, for the people who might be joining us, just wanted to say we're New Lunar Radio. This is our inaugural show back. Right now on the call with me, we have Rain,
Hello.
Tyler,
Yay!
our special guest for this week, and Darkle, our
Woo!
gaming stream guru, as it were. So we're gonna drop right into some other news in the community right now. Some of the biggest things were with the video front this year, this right now, and Swag.move came out in the last week or so, or 2 weeks, and it signals the end of the Pony.move series.
Mm-hmm.
After so many months.
Took a while, but he finally got it done.
Right.
He had a lot of speed bumps during that process. Oh my goodness.
He got hit by a car, didn't he, at one point?
Yeah, he was trying to upload it at a library because, he couldn't do it at his house on his own because his laptop would repeatedly freeze. So he went to the library to go do it. He got in about 4 hours, and it was 20% done or something, he said on Twitter, and he's like, screw it. And he left, and as he was leaving, he got hit by a car, and, snapped and broke his ankle or something like that, and bruised ribs and all that jazz.
Wow.
So eventually, he somehow toughed it out and got it out.
Yeah. Does anybody have any reactions on how the story ended? I would say as you could keep the spoilers to a minimum if you want, but at this point, I'm not sure that it's really a thing.
You've either seen it or you doesn't matter.
I think it was really fitting for his humor. It was exactly how I expected it to end. And yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything better, really, because it just fit him so well. He didn't go out of his... Well, he tried to do some extra things, but he didn't. He was going to do a lot of 3D modeling and things like that for some scenes. He did some, but he was trying to make it all in 3D or something, he said, and he just gave up. So...
Oh.
But the story in itself, being 15 minutes long or something, pretty long episode, I think it was good.
Yeah. I did I don't know if anybody was keeping a tabs on it, but I did like how it all tied in with the Ask Japalap Tumblr that he was doing.
Oh yeah.
The way they crossed over, but it wasn't until the exact end, and what he did with that was kind of it was kind of genius and pretty hilarious. So the other series that everybody likes to keep an eye on that was newly released is the Friendship is Witchcraft 8.
Oh yes.
Continuing the adventures of Twilight Sparkle, the new Princess of the Night, which is kind of funny.
In hindsight.
Yes,
yeah.
in hindsight. There was also lots of incest. But it's fine. It's fine because he was adopted.
It's fine because they're not biologically related.
Yeah. That's right.
There's no genetic.
It's not creepy.
Right.
It's fine.
It's totally fine. Don't think about it too much.
In Friendship is Witchcraft's little universe, as it were, as a Twilight-focused episode, it was just crazy enough to be brilliant and different to what they've done before. I really liked it. Mm-hmm. And I've been hearing a lot of backlash though from a lot of people who said that they really didn't like it.
Really?
So, yeah, I've been hearing about the place every now and again. For everybody who's told me they liked it, a lot of other people have been saying that it was a bit too boring. It relied too much on the incest and some of the sort of stupid nature of it. But I don't know. It doesn't matter if you don't like that episode, I suppose. Right. But I thought it was well done and much longer than most of them as well. So
it was also much longer, and we got a nice snippet of a covered Backstreet Boys song, which I'm hoping to hear. there is a longer, less in the background version of it floating out there on one of their websites, but I'm hoping for a full remake of that of that song at some point.
Oh yeah.
That would be awesome, and of course, a full on song in the actual episode itself that was compared to even the shorter ones that they had in the other one was a very well done full blown song that I think was pretty awesome, especially for a fan made parody
Definitely. It's yeah. They even had a commercial in the end as well.
Yeah,
That was. I didn't really know what to make of that part. I'll say, but
the next question I have for you then is who's your favorite member of that the boy band? Is it there was 4 of them, and they all had their different elements. The element I can't even remember.
It's the element of yeah, no, I can't either, but it was still a good element.
Yeah.
Element of brooding.
Yeah.
The element of oh yeah, I don't know. It's funny stuff. They set up a whole website for that, which was cool.
Yeah, I think that's where the snippet of the song that I was talking about was, which I'm hoping fan demand is enough to get them to release a full version of that, even if it takes a while. It would be worth the wait, I think.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
In all honesty, you could put it up. I would pay 99 cents for it on iTunes. So I'm just throwing it out there. Sherclaw Pones, if you wanna, maybe make a couple bucks, maybe maybe investigate some iTunes 99-cent action. So, the next big video thing that was announced or came out, and I'm not sure, this one's not as prolific, but it's pretty important as far as the fandom goes as well, is the Double Rainboom fan-made episode, full 25-minute episode. The official trailer and the release date was announced back on the 24th. March 30th is the day that's going to come out. So at the end of this month, we're going to have the full fan-made, fan-voiced, fan-animated episode of My Little Pony Friendship It's Magic. Now, of course, we all know that could get shut down at any minute now, just based on the subject material that it is. But I'm really hoping that it sees the light of day, at least for an hour, because as we all know, things work on the internet the way they do, and everything. Once it's on the internet for an hour, it's never off of the internet ever again. Mm-hmm. So, did anybody get a chance to watch the trailer, or does anybody have any feelings on it being a full 25 minutes? Heard of it before at all? Anyways,
well, I've only heard of it because, Sin is typing out. The voice for Dash, Rainbow Dash, is Emily PKME, who is also the voice of Wuna in the Moonstuck dub that I do. So she's been talking about it on and off. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, the way that she kept talking about it, she was like, it made it seem like it was out, but she just wouldn't link it. So now I know, thank you, through this update, that it's not out yet, and it will be out eventually.
Oh, yes.
So I'll be waiting for that. Yeah, I can't wait to listen to C, because I think Rainbow Dash is really good. And I mean, as soon as I hear it, I can start spamming her and be like, "Oh my god, it was so good!"
Just telling all your friends, "Look, I know this person. Look."
Exactly. She's so great. Go listen to her right now.
she's so great. Yeah.
Well, I'll admit it. I haven't heard of it just before now, and I just watched the release trailer thing, and it actually seems like it would be an actual episode, if not more extreme than what an actual episode would cover.
Right. It kind of reminds me of something that it would almost seem like something they might dip into on like a one-off of the comic series. I don't know if anybody keeps track of the Friendship is Magic comic series, but it seems like almost something that they could cover on a Rainbow Dash specific episode or release of the MLP comic, which they're starting to do now with Twilight Sparkle. But she was the first one. It was just a one-off side story, but
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'd heard of Double Rainbow. I keep seeing it about the place. I haven't seen the new trailer, admittedly, but from the footage I've seen before then and the way it's been described, it did seem pretty well written and pretty well shown. Like it passes for a good episode from what I've seen of it, and I'm quite impressed with that because a whole full episode, all animated, all voiced, that must take a lot of effort to get right.
Oh yeah.
And
It's a long, arduous process.
especially not
goodness.
having done that before, not having
Yeah.
any resources to fall back on. It's actually
Exactly.
quite a big feat right there.
Yeah, once you've done it before and it's your job and you know how everything's done and you know what you're going to do, it's probably a lot easier. When you're just approaching it as someone who just wants to do it, yeah, I can see how that would be a really hard thing to just get up and do. But you can see that they've really put their heart into it from what they've done so far because it looks quite good.
And on
very
top of
impressive.
it, like being something fan made, everybody, I'm sure most everybody in this has like school or jobs or other things to do as well as on top of that. So the fact that I kept with it a full episode and just, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. The just the amount of effort that it takes to, I mean, working a full-time job myself, I know how hard it is to do things on the side that require more than 15, 20 minutes of your time, and something like this is just it's a totally great undertaking. And once again, one of those things where I would have much preferred them to put out a trailer like on March 28th and been like, it's coming in 2 days, because just to keep it under the radar enough. But I understand getting fan hype for it is kind of required. You want people to watch it, but I just, with the recent happenings with Fighting is Magic, which we're going to go into here next, because there's some news on that front, it just feels hard to tread into this territory of stepping on Hasbro's feet, and they're gonna they might just bounce a hammer off of it, and nobody is wearing steel toe boots in this instance. So the on that mentioned, we'll all mourn the loss of Fighting is Magic, with an announcement yesterday or today, this morning sometime. The main 6 team has officially announced it dead. Fighting is Magic will not see the light of day in its full release. The only thing that we have to remember that by is the leaked release that we got several months ago from one of the fighting game conventions that it was at. On top of that news, though, a little bit of ray of sunshine. Lauren Faust has officially joined the main 6 team to create an original property, like she had offered to do on her Twitter, to replace the setting and characters of Fighting is Magic. So, unfortunately, based on what this means for their engine, is they're probably going to have to rework it from the ground up, because that's just the way fighting games work. Obviously, they can't reuse any of the art assets, but that's what Lauren is there for. Obviously, not to do all the art, but just to help out. And so there is some light at the end of this tunnel. The only thing is the end of this tunnel is not necessarily pony related. So what's everybody's thoughts on that?
The fact that they're still wanting to do something, even though it's finally shut down, the fact that they want to keep going with something, and they got someone like Lauren Faust to come up and be like, hey, want to make something new? That's amazing. Like, I don't care if it's pony related. Even if it wasn't just her, wanting to help them out and create something original, what they were producing before was pretty good. Like all the trailers and the plays, like they were all fighting each other and stuff. Mm-hmm. It was pretty good. I mean, and I love fighting games, so if they were going to produce yet another fighting game, I'd stick around and wait to see what they bring out.
Yeah. Well, I seem to remember I heard from Kalkos. He said that, I don't know exactly who, but some games company somewhere had offered them the use of their engine to make their fighting game off of. Like, instead of tearing the whole thing down and starting again, they could just build on top of this whole system that they'd got working.
Interesting.
Which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know how true that is, to
Right.
be fair, but that's what I've heard. And that seems like a pretty cool offer if they take it up, if they choose to. But it's very nice that they would offer that anyway, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. That they've made that much of an impact, that Lauren Faust is making a new IP to help them along, and they're being offered things from other people. It just goes to show how much effort they put into the thing originally, that all these people are queuing up to get them to put that much effort into something else.
Right.
You can tell they're very determined by the fact that they've stayed where they are. A couple of guys left. One was announced, I think, then, but he left a while ago.
Yeah, he had left. He had left a whole year. Like he had left in January, but as part of what almost seemed like we just want to officially make sure that you're because they were kind of. It sounded like they were trying to keep their internal structure kind of on the down low, just to make sure that there wasn't too much like the community like, oh, this person left, how are you ever going to finish the game, blah, blah, so on and so forth. But once they had gotten to a point where, because in the long run there's a cease and desist on this, and they took down all the stuff and they complied and that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there can't be something else that comes from this legally somewhere down the road, either through their fault or not, or even just a misunderstanding. So I think they just wanted to make it clear that this person left at this time, this person left now, and that's that's a full disclosure on the status of our team. Everybody else is sticking around. So that it's I think it was it surprised me to see how many people were like, just somehow like put it out and we'll finish it. And it's like, well, that would be awesome. And I'm sure that your average 4chan user or PonyChan user might do that. The thing is they followed the cease and desist, and if anything like that were to happen, they would ultimately be responsible, whether it happened under their guise or not. I mean, even if it accidentally came out through no fault of their own at this point, they'd have a certain amount of safety net because they've complied with the cease and desist order, but could still get dragged into court and over it, and it would just be so. Accidentally leaking what they already have finished is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, they don't want to poke them any more probably than they've already been poked.
Right.
But it's certainly a testament to the group itself that it stayed there. I wish them luck with whatever they choose to do next, because they put in a lot of time to try and get it to work, only to have it fail.
Right.
That's kind of upsetting, I've got to say.
And I think they've even though they're gonna they're gonna lose a bunch of people because it's not pony related. I think they've already garnered enough views and enough space in people's minds to garner a second look, to say, what are they doing now? And it may not ever get the same response level that they were going to receive before. But I don't know how many of you are old enough PC gamers to remember this, but back in the old Unreal Tournament days, there was a total conversion mod that was going to be revolved around Dragon Ball Z. These group of guys were doing it. They were making the mod. It had all the aspects of, all the licensed characters, all the licensed places, all that stuff. And eventually they got a cease and desist order from Funimation in the United States because that's where they were located. So they just changed all the assets and all the names and stuff, and they brought it out as the mod Bid for Power. And the funny thing is it played exactly like exactly like you would think a Dragon Ball Z game would at that time. So I think a lot of people were maybe hoping or expecting an aspect like that kind of aspect, and unfortunately, though, it all depends on what they do next. If all of a sudden they come out with a new game and the attacks look very similar and they're still four-legged creatures, maybe wombat fighting is magic or something like that. And like,
yeah. If they just continue where they've gone but don't use the IP, then it's
Right.
entirely possible someone could just put the new skins in, and
Exactly.
the whole problem is solved without them being implicated because someone
Right.
else did it.
right. But I think the if you go back and look at Lauren's Twitter, she specified that this would not just be original characters like in the non-copyrighted characters, because the Hasbro owns they own the design now, they own the locations, they own, like, you'd almost have to, it would have to be like Giraffe Fighting 2000 to even be like so, well, maybe we will get Giraffe Fighting 2000, or Giraffe Fighting is magic. So I for one am definitely going to keep an eye on what's going on with this with them in the future, though it'll be more of I'm sure more of just a thing that I check every couple months instead of every couple weeks like I used to. Not that they released anything new that often anyways, but one could always hope.
It's going to be interesting either way. If the next thing they release is completely different, or if it's just, I don't know, brawling is sorcery or something,
Right.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Right. All right. So I think that's pretty much all the other news we have. Does anybody have anything fandom related that maybe we missed that could fit here?
I don't think so.
All right.
Nothing pertaining to Draft Fighting 2000.
I put my vote for the name Catfighting is Round.
Okay.
I like that.
Go register the domain, man. You could be yours. Just
I'm checking it right now. Fighting is round. How do you spell round?
RAWR, I would think, but
Okay.
Maybe.
It's open. No one has it.
all right. That being said, I think it's time to turn our attentions to our special guest, Tyler. For those that don't know, Tyler is the organizer and one of the voice actors behind the Moonstuck dubs. And I think I think we'll just dive into some of the questions here and see where it goes. First thing that we wanted to ask is, what is your previous background in voice acting, if you had any, or was Moonstuck dubs your first foray?
Well, I'll tell you how I started. It was back in beginning of high school. Well, no, first in middle school. A lot of my friends that I had were during the late part of middle school were all theater kids, and I was never into it, but I really liked helping them practice and do improv and things like that. So I found that a lot of fun. And as that continued on into high school, I still never joined theater, but I still kept doing the same things, being friends with theater kids, people who were very energetic all the time. And eventually, I don't know, I think I did a funny voice once, and then someone was like, oh my god, that was spot on and hilarious. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I just kept going with that. I never really made a big deal out of it. I just kept doing it as a hobby. And then finally, one day, I got really into it for a couple months. I made a friend, and while we were both getting into the pony thing at the time, I was reading Moonstuck, and I was like, oh, wow, this would be really cool to dub. It feels like it needs a narrator. Maybe I should do that. Do you think I should do that? I mean, I could do that. And I kept moaning about it. And just out of the blue, while I was talking to him about it, it was through type as well. He just stops and goes, just fucking do it. And I was like, well, okay. And that's how that started. So Moonstuck was the first thing I really took seriously and kept going, even though the audio and some other things, even the first episode, when I look at it now, I'm like, oh my God, I could have done so much better. But that was the first thing. And then since then, as Moonstruck takes a long time to do, longer than I wish it would, but I mean, everybody's got things going on, and Emily can only record on the weekends sometimes, so yeah. Yeah, it takes a while. And
Right.
then the audio mastery, orchestral design does the audio and some special effects stuff with the video. He brings the real magic to these videos, and his job takes like 2 weeks or more.
Right.
So, like, what I do is I get all of the vocal stuff down, write a script if needed, build the vocal audio, and then I pass it on to him, and he does the background music and the effects that he thinks would further accentuate scenes and things like that. And then as soon as that's done, he passes it on to me, and I spew it out.
So you had mentioned that you kind of started the voice acting in high school. Was there any, I mean, other than hanging out with friends and hanging out, like you said, with the theater crowd, was there any one person or any one thing that inspired you, you know, getting laughs, or maybe that creepy theater teacher that you could always make laugh when he was an ornery old guy? Was there anything that you were like, yeah, that I can use my voice as a tool? Is there anything that you really that really came out to you that, you know?
Yeah. Let's you know what? I think it was really just the attitudes of people that I started to build together. I used to be kind of a shy kid. Not so much anymore. For a while, I'd say. But there was this librarian in high school, Miss Ray. She was so nice. She was the best, like, you know, really cool librarians that let you just hang out in the library and just do whatever. Like, you don't feel like going to class because you're down or something, or like whatever. Be like, oh yeah, just sit in here and have fun or whatever, and then we'll just talk about random stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She
Those
was
are the best
just
librarians.
Yeah.
all over the place. She was great. My God, everybody that was from that time, if she's still a librarian now, they all know what I'm talking about. She was fantastic.
Right.
And just her attitude in general got me really excited for things like that. Like, I talked to her about it once. I was like, I'm thinking maybe I'll get into games and voice acting and sound stuff, but I don't know. And she's like, oh my God, that would be so awesome. I could totally hear your voice and etc. and all that. And it just built from there. And then in college, there's this guy that lives, I live in Texas, and there's a guy apparently, Funimation is close by. There's a guy, General Ivan, or Chris Guerrero, if I'm pronouncing that right. He just recently got a job at Funimation doing voice acting, and I'd been following him for a while, and love his really deep voice because it's so, like, it blows me away. And the fact that he got there, he's older than I am and has more experience, but I mean, he's there now.
Right.
And that just gives me the morale boost that I need. Like, someday I will be there too. And I can't wait for the future. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna dive a little bit more into Pony. When and how were you drawn into the pony fandom? Like, was there a specific time, specific person? Like, first video you saw online?
It was back in freshman year of college, so maybe fall of 2010. It was near the end, getting like November maybe, something near there. And me and my my roommate and a friend of mine, a girlfriend of mine at the time, we were like, we heard about it and we're like, oh my God, this pony show, lol, let's watch it. For kicks, and we started watching it. We watched like the first two episodes, and we're like, that was kind of funny. And then we all left, and then I was like, oh, that's kind of good. And I just kept watching it on my own. And then finally, later, they were like, hey, want to watch another episode? And I'm like, I'm already on like, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something. And they're like, whoa, what? They were surprised that I watched into it further. I have many episodes at the time, so I don't know. I got that vibe from it back from like, when you're a kid and you're watching cartoons and you're like, yeah, this is exactly what I need right now, just to lay back and watch something that's humorous and just, I can veg to, I guess.
While you're
I don't have to think
shoveling-
too much, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Something easy and carefree.
Yeah, something to do while you're shoveling Captain Crunch into your face.
Exactly. I remember actually eating Cheerios to that once before.
Right.
Oh man.
Eyes fixed on the screen, your spoon coming to your mouth like autonomously, like you don't even realize.
Exactly.
I don't even think you can relax without Cheerios.
I never
You
liked
do that?
Cheerios.
Oh well then.
Oh, jeez, man.
Sounds like you're more of a tricks guy, maybe.
Yeah. It's,
I am a man of life.
oh, my.
Oh, he eats life.
Well,
You monster.
Darkle will eat anything.
That is true.
All right. So obviously you got the pony fandom growing in your heart, and then you have the need for voice acting, and like you said, your friend said just do it when it brought to the Moonstuck when it came to the Moonstuck dub. But what initially stuck out to you about Moonstuck? No pun intended. And what grabbed it and really made you think, well, this could really use this treatment that I want to give it?
Well, another thing that I neglected to say that further accentuated my want to do voice acting is, like, everybody, you read in your head and it's just kind of, you're reading it in whatever voice you hear for someone, if you're reading a book or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like to read out loud a lot. Like, it's not as fast, but I will remember and retain the information a lot better if I'm reading it out loud to myself. And if it's a book or something like that, like a fictional book or whatever, I'll read it in different voices, and that's always fun. So that's what I did with Moonstuck when I started reading it. I was reading everything out loud, and it was adorable and hilarious all at the same time. And as I started going through that, about 10 pages in, I was like, man, I really want to dub this. And that's, actually, a funny story. The way that I was reading it, I kept making it like the narrator was a dick to Wuna all the time and just like hated her being so stupid. But there was when I wanted to do that, and I said it on Tumblr, but Ego, I think she's still following me, I don't know, but she was at the time, and I told her about it, and she's like, I'm not okay with this. It's not what I envisioned. And I was like, oh, crap. Okay, I guess I won't do that.
Right.
But it would have been, it should have been, I shouldn't have even thought of that to begin with, because it is a kind of PG thing, Moonstuck itself. So,
Right.
Yeah, it would have kind of broken that. It would have been hilarious, but, I mean, I wanted to keep true to the, the creator's wishes, so I kept true to the, just doing different voices and whatever else I think of when I read it.
Right. Speaking of the creator, did you do the first episode with her blessing, or did you just kind of do it and she came in later, or did
I asked her first, definitely, because I didn't want to like make it and then just be like, actually, that's what I do with everything now. Everything that I've dubbed so far, I have asked the creator of said comic or whatever and been like, hey, is it cool if I dub this? I don't want to like do it terribly to your ears and ruin it for you and want you to gouge my eyes out and take out my vocal cords.
right?
So I want to check. And so far, I haven't had anyone deny me in any way except for the don't be angry at Wuna.
Right. There was a little creative direction that you received.
Exactly. There was actually a time when people thought that Egophiliac was directly like in charge of the Moonstuck dub, and they kept asking her questions about it and when the next episode was going to come out and stuff like that. And she's like, what should I do with these?
Right.
Like, send them to me, I guess.
Right.
So, oh my god, that was fun. But yeah.
your main I'll say your main co-actor, at least for the episodes that have come out so far, is PKM. PKME, sorry. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I am. If I'm not, I apologize.
It is.
How did you guys get hooked up on the on doing the voice? Did you? I was looking over your YouTube channel. I didn't really see a general call to action for at least the first couple of episodes, but
Yeah, the way I did it was I started on Tumblr. I started on Tumblr. I made a Tumblr at the time after dubbing one thing, like I did an impersonation of Solid Snake and Otacon for kicks, and then after that was when I decided to do the Moonstruck dub. So I made a little calling there saying, hey, anybody who wants to be the voice of Luna in this, I'm planning on dubbing it, so send me an audition of any sort. And I told them to improvise, because it's not really scripted what she says ever. So that was a challenge for some people. I was like, improv, there are no lines, give me what you got. And I also sent it to Equestria Daily, the Post, and they put it up, and they're like, hey, he's looking for Moonstruck dub people, so go over there and, talk to him and be like, hey, I want to be Luna. So that happened, and then she came along. It was actually, funny enough, it was between her and someone else that was really good that I couldn't place at the time, and then eventually now I know who the second person is, and I'm friends with her, and we found that out like a couple months ago. I was like, oh my god, you were the second person I was thinking about. And she's like, oh no, I had a chance of being Luna and I failed. It was fantastic. And eventually I was like, all right, after about a month of listening to different people, I was like, here we go. Yeah, Luna.
I just have to ask, since it went up to EQD for Equestria Daily for a call for auditions, how many scruff male Lunas did you get? How many of those did you have to pour through to get?
I only had one person actually send me male Luna voice. I had maybe 5 dudes asking me, could I try anyway, or could I be a character later on because of the bat ponies and stuff?
Right.
And I told all the people with the bat ponies, I was like, just wait until that comes out because I'll make another post about it. And then all the other ones, I was like, no, don't try unless you're like, other people have told you, you sound exactly like a female.
Right.
The other guy, the first guy, it was actually the first audition I got. It was a guy. He just really close to his microphone. He's like, I'm Luna, and you love me, okay? Exactly like that, and it was so creepy at the time. But I put it on Tumblr anyway. I was like, watch out, ladies, you got some competition here.
Oh, damn.
Just one in particular.
Oh, well.
But it made my day.
Tyler, if you ever need a replacement, I want to be Luna. Yeah.
I think that's quality acting. If you know what's good for you, you should definitely take Darkle onto the list and bring him in.
Through skill or fear, we're not sure.
Okay, so a little bit more about your feelings on Moonstruck. What's your favorite Moonstruck character? Because the series, if anybody's not familiar with it, it was something that started and something that ended. It's complete now. So what was your favorite character overall?
Hold on one second. I'm kind of having some call interference. I'm going to drop out and then come back in.
Okay, so we're going to do some technical difficulty action here. Anybody else who's read Moonstruck, what was your favorite character? Hopefully some other people have read it too.
I actually haven't. I've heard a lot about it, though. I keep getting chased up by people telling me it's fantastic and I should look it up. I suppose now is my... This is the point in time where I realise I could have. I should have.
Right.
I shouldn't have put it off for so long.
Tyler, are you back with us? No, I don't think so. Darkle.
From what I've read, I haven't read all of it, but from what I've read, definitely has to be Prince Blueblood.
Prince Blueblood? You're a fan of the hard-boiled points? So,
Okay.
okay, it's Tyler. You're back.
I think so.
All right.
It does this every now and again. God, I hate this internet. It'll choose like 1 or 2 days out of the month, or out of the week even, and just be like, what am I gonna do? And just spazzes out for a while. So terrible timing on that part.
No problem. Do you? The question was, what was your favorite Moonstuck character over the entire written or the drawn Egophiliac's original story?
Favorite Moonstuck character? It's really hard to say. It might be one of the Bat Ponies. I can never... I can't differentiate the two. One of them is Sunshine. Okay, that's right. Their names are like ironic or whatever. Sunshine is the one that's grumpy, and the other one's name I can't remember is the one that's nice. And I like the nice one because he sings and stuff, and he's cute. It's hilarious. I would say my favorite character, like, my favorite thing about the dub in general is all of the asks that get done, because I have other voice acting friends that I ask to do the asks for me, because me doing every single one, I would run out of voices pretty quickly.
Right.
So I have them do it, and sometimes, like, I'll give them free liberty of doing whatever they want, and they'll give me the best stuff. Like, if it's if the avatar icon for that ask is a pirate or something, they'll bring out a pirate and be like, "Yeah!" Just read it off like that. Beautiful.
Right. Just here's a limited scope of information. Show me what you can do, kind of thing.
Wait, say that one more time.
Oh, sorry. Limited scope of information. Show me what you can do. You have a line of text and a picture. Go for it.
Oh God, I'm sorry. If you can completely understand me, I can't understand you at all. The internet is still doing that thing.
We can hear.
Yeah, we can. We can hear you, Tyler. I don't know if you can hear us.
Okay, I can hear you, but you're all breaking in and out, and you're like robots.
We are. This is new Lunar Radio Robot Edition now. So at least for Tyler,
The internet is rebelling.
really only had a couple more questions. So maybe I can get them into the chat here, and we can go that way at least for now. Look at the chat, and there's the next question. The next question for the audience is when can we expect the next episode of Moonstuck Dubs?
Next episode of Moonstuck, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes. When is the next one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Well, Mike, or orchestral design right now, he's sick, and he's had a pretty bad cold for a while. He's been battling it. So he hasn't... I told him not to stretch himself and, work too hard on it if he's sick, because, I mean, his health comes first. So I have no idea, but the last time he gave me a status update, he said it was about a third of the way done. So... and that was working kind of on and off. So maybe if he's better in the next week, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, something like that.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm probably still robot mode, but
actually no.
Oh yay!
Oh, we've got it.
Yes.
Beep boop.
The beep boop indeed. One of the last questions that I had here on my list was, are there any other projects that you might be working on soon that you're willing to talk about? And are any of them pony related, or I noticed you've been doing a lot more just not random comics per se, just other comics on your YouTube channel. Is there anything else like longer term that you're looking at doing, or is Moonstuck Dubs your main focus right now still?
Actually, yes, I am. As for the random comics, they are really kind of random. Some of them, whatever I see on Tumblr or other every other day webcomics I find that are just hilarious and I feel the need to dub them, I will dub them within the day. And then after I'm done, I will be like, hey, is it cool if I release this? And then as soon as they say yes, I put it out. That's been the case for most things. But as for projects, it would be just Moonstuck. But me and a couple other people decided, or not decided, but we were reading Lackadaisy, and we all figured that, like, a lot of us were fans of the Lackadaisy comic, if you know what that is. It is a 1920s set in, like, the Prohibition era comic, but with cats. And it's actually quite, it's like anthropomorphic cats. So they all, like, the artist is amazing. Oh my goodness. So basically, I would have just stuck to Moonstuck, but we found a friend who will be our audio editor, so I don't have to do any of the audio, and a video editor, comic editor, who will do all the panels and such, so I don't have to do any of that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, also for Moonstuck, I do the animations for the panels as well.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. But now, I am me and another pony artist, Pippa. I'm not a pony artist, just pony artist. Pippa, or Pip Tart, she and I are the producers, quote unquote, of this, deciding on whose voices are good for what. And we've got a lot of people already set in stone. And we are making the first episode of it right now. And
Sweet.
It should be coming out soon. So as soon as that is out, you'll see me throwing it everywhere, going like, look at this! Because it's so good! Because he's fantastic. He's a fantastic audio editor as well. And the guy that does the comics, of what I've seen of his stuff, he's pretty good too. And I'm going to be the voice of Rocky, one of the main guys. Oh my god, he is a blast. I will tell you, my favorite characters to voice in general are just people that are over-eccentric and just over-excited, just that kind of stuff. Like an insane scientist or something, or a guy who's just bouncing off the walls, all of that stuff. So much fun to do.
So I'm expecting that we'll see that on your YouTube channel. Is that where that'll be coming out, or is it going to get its own separate release?
That is something we'll probably have to decide. If we put it on mine, I already have subscribers, and it would be easier to get out.
Right.
But at the same time, thinking about it, we would want it to have its own thing, but we'll decide. We've already made a Tumblr for it.
Right.
So that's where all the posts will go after they're uploaded. So, I mean, if we have the Tumblr, might just do that, but I don't know. We'll work out the details eventually.
I guess I'll take this opportunity to open up the floor for any other questions from my co-host here.
Yes, please, by all means, ask me more questions.
Oh.
So what are you wearing?
Right now, I'm wearing brown corduroy pants. They are very smooth. And this gray shirt from lacrosse in high school, yes. It's very big. Oversized.
Also, just here to interject, if we have any questions from the chat, newlunarradio.org/chat. I should have mentioned it more often. But if anybody wants to pop into the chat that's listening, put your questions in there. We'll pass them along to Tyler. Rain, any questions from you?
Nothing relevant, I've got to say. Most of my questions tend to be a little bit crazy.
I am totally fine with crazy, so...
Crazy question is fine.
What flavor milkshake would you pick if it were you?
Now that is a tough question.
It sure is. Are
we
there's no right
talking
answer.
basic vanilla strawberry chocolate or anything?
Well, let's go with both. Let's see what you'd pick if you had to pick from the basics, and if you were allowed to pick anything.
Okay, if I had to pick from the basics, usually when it comes down to chocolate is mostly like milk chocolate. Milk chocolate's not my favorite thing in the world. I prefer dark, so I'd have to go with strawberry, because strawberry holds a special place in my heart from my childhood. And then for anything, it would be something that combines perfectly dark chocolate and milk chocolate and kiwis.
Ooh.
Oh, no, peaches.
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 Peaches are my favorite fruit. It's just so juicy.
I could agree with your sentiment so far. I just need a little bit of vodka in mine. So when
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Becoming
just
a
the-
milkshake.
yeah.
At that point.
Oh,
God. Hold on. I'm looking at the chat. G-Fro and Phantom Theft, I love you. You guys are great.
This little bit of which you speak, is this industrial quantities? Little bit?
well, if we're parting it out, if we want to do 1 part milkshake, 10 parts vodka, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
A total of 11 parts. I'm not sure, how you want to break that down. Feel free to use your imagination for that.
You want to share some of that with me? I mean,
Hey, no problem. We're making it in a big blender. Remember, it's not just.
And this time, you only have to take 2 kinds of medication after you drink it.
That reminds me of some
The
vodka.
formula is improved.
Reminds me of some vodka I picked up at the store like earlier this year. Strawberry flavored vodka, and not a flan.
Not a fan.
Fan.
All right. I haven't really seen. My chat might not be working. But
Looking at it now. Hold on.
it's the.
War? I will be your senpai, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna notice you. Ooh, smack
Oh.
down. It's
Yeah.
not like I want to fucking notice you, but baka.
It's, it looks like they're looking for some other shout outs. You want to there's some more shout outs here.
Are there?
Yeah, Phantom Theft.
I already shouted to Phantom
yeah,
Theft.
Yeah.
I love those guys. They're great.
Jeffro, is that Jeffro there? G-Fro. All right. So yeah, any actual questions about about Moonstuck Dubs or Tyler in general? What kind of ice cream he likes, maybe, or
Well, that's going to take way too much time. we don't have that much time.
We'll be adding everything ever.
Talk about ice cream for hours. God.
It's an important topic. We need to know. We need to know where his loyalty lies here.
No, that would actually be a very, very quick question. Mint chocolate chip, done and done.
Ooh.
Oh
Nice.
yes.
Okay.
Oh god, yes.
All right. The cookie dough revolution is not upon your doorstep yet, but it will be someday.
Okay, if they replace the chocolate chips with cookie dough, that would be the perfect combination.
You know what? I'm with you.
I can see that working quite well.
Somebody out there that controls an ice cream factory, please make that happen. Please.
Please.
You'll make every single bit of money that all of us have. Just here. Where's my
There's-
wallet?
If there's anything science has told me, it's that you cannot go far wrong by splicing the best of everything together.
Exactly.
It's madly obvious. Let's do it.
Nice. All right. So I think at this point, I'm gonna let Tyler plug away at whatever he wants to plug. YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr. Have at it.
I guess just let's see. My Tumblr is Tyler's Things at tumblr.com. That's the place that I post most things. YouTube is Ty824, and Twitter is Ty Cheesy. Oh, and all the ties are spelled TAI. Tyler's Things is normal Tyler, but all the ties are TAI because I'm a nerd for Digimon.
I was thinking that.
The icon on your YouTube channel didn't give it away whatsoever.
Oh, no, not at all.
All right, everybody. Thanks to Tyler Carson for sitting around with us and chatting. We got a couple more new Lunar Radio based announcements to go here. Mostly, what we're going to dive into yet is a quick explanation for New Lunar Radio's disappearance for a little while. Sin, I think, might want to pop in and do that? Sin, why don't you unmute and pop in here? And
What's the story? I was here all along.
right.
Such a
Just as
twist.
planned.
All right, everybody. Our glorious leader, Sin Cestia, to give us some knowledge.
Some background information. Well, last time we were broadcasting, I don't know how many of you guys are new, how many of you guys know us before. We did a joint charity stream with Bronicast back in November, and during that time, there was sort of a rift of sorts between two parties within New Lunar Radio. We were approached by Celestia Radio, and based on, well, our principles and what we wanted New Lunar Radio to be, we wanted to keep it a small group of friends who are learning as they go, just having fun. And the other half of New Lunar Radio wanted more recognition, wanted more fame per se, I guess you could say, however you want to word it. So they went off, and I don't know if Rain's muted, but I think, can you vouch for me with the two other people?
Everything seems to be in order there. Quite a lot of the guys, as well as the people I work with in the Pixel Perfect Pony show, nowadays got their start in NLR. It's everything seems correct to me so far.
Yeah,
as
so
far as-
basically, what?
Oh,
Say
no.
something?
Continue.
Oh, okay. I'm getting pretty close to the end. It's pretty quick wrap up here. So we kind of went into hiatus. Our team got cut in half from a total of 4 people, which means including Tonic and I, doing broadcasting and back end stuff. We essentially lost our 2 hosts. One of those hosts was also the game streamer. So we had to kind of fall back, take a break, and I went around looking for help, try and rebuild what we had. Because it was something we loved to do. We had so much fun talking to people, and the game streams were always a blast. We took a while, got a few applications via email. Took us a while to go through them. I think even right now we're missing one more host, permanent host. Right now we have Rain filling in, but I'm sure we'll find someone sometime soon. So hopefully we'll be back, into a normal schedule at some point soon.
Yay, normal schedule.
Yay!
Anything else you wanted to mention, Sin?
We do have a theme song made by Nameless Warning. I'll probably post that to a SoundCloud file, whatever, and link it over to the Twitter account.
And it'll probably get tacked on at some point to the beginning of this episode, I would think.
Yeah, once I upload it to YouTube, it will be on my personal YouTube account, which is Synesthesia. If you don't know, it's a 7 in place of the T in the middle. But
it'll get linked on newlunarradio.org, I'm sure. So
that and the Twitter and maybe EQD if I'm going that route again.
All right. And I think that about does it then for the first episode of newlunarradio.org. The reinvigoration.
The reinvigoration of New Lunar Radio.
Reconstructed, resurrected.
Revengeance.
Resurrected, reconstructed, ready to kick your ass. So I think that's it. So once again, thank you to Tyler Carson. I'm going to say your full name for once in this for coming on and being our special guest. Thank you to Darkle, Rain, and our earlier Sparkle Peep for his insight on the Unicon fiasco. So check us out, newlunarradio.org. New episodes will be posted there. We're streaming new episodes as they come out. Next up, we have Darkle streaming. What game are you streaming, Darkle?
I believe it would be I'm Scared, a pixelated adventure.
All right. And you can check that out over on Twitch TV /Daylight Darkle. Daylight spelled the same way, Darkle, Darkle. You can also click on the game stream link on the side of newlunarradio.org, and it'll link you directly over there. So look forward to that here, hopefully in the next 5-10 minutes starting, and thanks for joining us.
And thanks for having me.
No problem, Tyler. Anytime.
Same here. Thank you for the fun evening.
No problem.
Bye.